ESPN is reporting, could the Los Angeles Clippers be looking to trade Paul George?
Everybody knows that he's not going anywhere. The Sixers hit on a guy who they took in the 20s.
According to reports, the New Orleans Pelicans contacted the 76ers.
When I think about LeBron's free agency, I get very excited thinking about Philadelphia.
Tonight, was there any thought at all that, this could have been your last game with the Lakers?
I'm not going to answer that.
The Philadelphia 76ers 2023-24 campaign was a mixed bag. On one hand, Embiid had one of the most dominant individual seasons in NBA history, averaging just under 35 points per game, and Tyrese Maxey made a huge leap, making the first All-Star team of his career. But unfortunately, the season ended in a first-round exit at the hands of the New York Knicks. Losing early in the playoffs isn't fun, but we're going to take a glass-half-full approach with this team. The 76ers have one of the best duos in the NBA, they just need better role players around them. The Sixers will have over $50 million in cap room with several big contracts like Tobias Harris, Nicholas Batum, and Buddy Hield's coming off the books. This will open up a lot of opportunities for the 76ers to get better in free agency. First, let's discuss the 76ers team needs. The most pressing need of the Sixers is a reliable third scoring option behind Embiid and Maxey. Tobias Harris averaged a solid 17 points per game in the regular season, but he pulled a disappearing act in the postseason, averaging just 9 points per game in their first round series against the Knicks. He somehow figured out a way to go completely scoreless in a must-win Game 6 despite 29 minutes of playing time. Looks like he was just doing cardio out there. So the 76ers could really use an upgrade from Tobias. And along with a third scorer, the 76ers could also use a better backup point guard. In the playoffs, the non-Embiid minutes were brutal for the 76ers. Cameron Payne is a decent player, but he simply doesn't put enough pressure on the defense. The Sixers could really use another ball handler that could generate offense. Lastly, the Sixers need to get better on the boards. A big reason the Sixers lost to the Knicks was because they got out-hustled and beat on the glass. The 76ers need more physical, gritty role players that'll fight for those rebounds. Now let's discuss some players that can fix these needs. The Sixers' main target this offseason is reportedly Paul George. His game is in decline and he doesn't have the same explosiveness he once had, but he would still be a high-level third option for the Sixers team. He's a great three-point shooter, which would allow him to thrive off the ball next to Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and he's still an excellent defender that can cover multiple positions. This type of versatility is exactly what the Sixers need. Adding Paul George would instantly put the Sixers back in the championship conversation. An even better addition for the Sixers would be LeBron James. He's expected to decline his player option, which would mean the Sixers would be able to sign him with just their cap space. LeBron is almost 40, but he's still one of the top 10 players in today's league, and in many ways, he's improving. He shot a career-high 41% from deep this year, and along with being a great outside shooter, he's still one of the most devastating drivers and finishers in the game. LeBron is also an excellent playmaker that would make his teammates better. The two-man game between Embiid and LeBron would be unstoppable. Signing LeBron is a no-brainer move, but he is expected to return to the Lakers in free agency. Another star forward the Sixers have been linked to is Jimmy Butler. If Butler and the Heat can't agree to an extension, they may trade him, and Philly should be a top destination for Butler. Butler and Embiid is already a proven winning formula. Last time they were teammates, they were just one win away from beating a Toronto Raptors team that would go on to win the championship. Since then, Butler has gone on to make 2 finals with the Heat, and he's consistently one of the league's best playoff performers. If Butler is available, this is another no-brainer. The Sixers have also been tied to Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans. If Ingram is available for trade, he would make a lot of sense in terms of fit for the Sixers. At 26 years old, he's entering the prime of his career, and he's another do-it-all forward that Philly needs next to Embiid and Maxey. He's an excellent scorer, especially from mid-range, where at 6'9", he can just raise over defenders easily. He shoots the 3-ball well enough to space the floor, and he's also a very good defender. Overall, he would be an amazing fit. The last star player we'll discuss is DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan is 35 years old, but his game has aged like fine wine. He's still one of the best scorers in the league, averaging 24 points per game last year. And not only is he still a great scorer, but he's also one of the best clutch performers in the league as well. Now, he's not going to be the Sixers' #1 target, but if the other players that they want to get don't come through, he would be a nice pickup. So that's 5 players that can help the Sixers' need for a better third option. But what about the Sixers' need for help on the glass? Andre Drummond has been in the league for over a decade, but he's still just 30 years old. He's consistently been one of the best rebounders throughout his career, so he could definitely help Philly out on the glass. Another veteran big the Sixers should target is Kevin Love. If he opts out of his player option, Love will hit free agency. Now, Kevin Love's all-star days are far behind him, but he's evolved into an excellent role player. Not only is Love still a pretty good rebounder, but he's also a good passing big, and he shoots it well from deep, making him a really nice fit. And lastly, the 76ers should consider Mason Plumlee. He is 34 years old, but he's still one of the better rebounding centers, so he would be a good backup center behind Joel Embiid. Lastly, let's look at some players that can fill the Sixers' need for a quality backup point guard. First, Spencer Dinwiddie. Now, last season for Dinwiddie was forgettable, but he's not far removed from a 2020 campaign with the Nets where he put up 21 points and 6 assists per game and drew some all-star consideration. When at his best, Dinwiddie is a speedy point guard that can get in the paint at will and create for himself and others. This could be a golden opportunity for the 76ers to get a quality 6-man and for Spencer to play well, up his value, and cash out next summer. Another player worth considering is Eric Gordon. Last season, Gordon thrived as a 6-man for the Phoenix Suns. He would not only be a nice spark plug off the bench for the Sixers, but a lights-out shooter from deep. Lastly, Markelle Fultz of the Magic would be a nice pickup. Last year, he was limited to just 43 games due to injury, but the year before, he played 60 games and averaged a solid 14 points and 6 assists per game as the Magic's starting point guard. If he's available at a reasonable price, then the Sixers could do a lot worse. So that's all the players that I'm going to talk about in this video. If the Sixers can pick up at least 3 of the players mentioned in the different categories, along with some bench pieces to fill out the rest of the roster, then this is a Sixers team that could re-enter the championship conversation. And in today's NBA, it's more wide open than it's ever been. We've seen a new team win the championship every season since 2019. So if the 76ers can go into the postseason healthy, and especially Joel Embiid healthy, fingers crossed, then this is a Sixers team that could end up holding the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the season. But that's going to be it for me, and now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the free agents that I mentioned in this video? Who would you like to see the 76ers sign? Let me see your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all next video.